We're going to go over some of the basics of laying glass block. When you stock your material, leave them in the box. The laborers should cut the lids off the box and set the boxes right on the scaffold. If you have the laborers take them out and stack up the glass, they can chip, they can crack. If you have the ability to have the guy just pull them out of the box and hand them to you, that's better because you can pick up time. We oftentimes have more laborers than masons when we're doing glass block. You do a big glass block panel, which is what we do a lot of. This scenario, I'm doing a small panel. That's for demonstration purposes only. Something this small, we would order it prefabricated. So typically we're doing big panels, we're using spacers, which I'll get to, and a mason could put 400 or 500 block in by lunchtime. That means he needs 2 helpers, and I'll get into why. Furthermore, it's going to take all 3 of you to strike and wipe them in the afternoon. One thing I want you to notice when you're laying the block is whether or not it has white frosting here. Now typically we're using white mortar. Of course this is in the training room with the training mortar. But these clear glass block, if there's a hole in your mortar joint, you could see it. So to prevent that from happening, most glass block companies put a white frosting here. Occasionally we'll get a block that does not have the frosting. If it does not have the frosting, it's absolutely critical that you prime your joint. And when I say prime your joint, that means give it a good one of those before you really put your head joint on. Mortar control is very important when you're laying glass block because there's no holes in the bottom of the glass block like a brick for the mortar to ooze up into. So if you put too much mortar down, you're really going to struggle to get your height where you want it. The first course is absolutely critical to be perfect. The reason being, we want to use the spacers. And if the first course is off, then the spacers are going to be off every course above. Keep it as clean as you can. Keep the joints as full as you can. You really got to watch your glass and your line. Put your eye on it good. Just like any other unit, you want to double butter your closures so that they get a good bite. You can't squeeze that block into the next one, so you really need to rely on that. But sometimes what happens is you have a collection of mortar, so don't be afraid to remove some of that mortar right there so that as you push this next block down, you don't have too much mortar in that location.